Rachel Reeves has ignited a political firestorm with her inheritance tax raid, sending shockwaves through Britain's economy. Family businesses, the backbone of our communities, are now bracing for devastating losses, job cuts, and forced closures. And here's the kicker. New analysis reveals that Reeves's tax grab could leave the Treasury £1.26 billion worse off. That's right, this so-called revenue-boosting policy is already backfiring spectacularly. Tonight, we'll uncover the shocking fallout, from 125,000 jobs at risk to British farms on the brink of collapse. Hold on to your hats, because no one is safe from this scandal. Breaking developments are coming thick and fast. Economists have slammed the inheritance tax changes, warning that Labour has grossly underestimated the economic devastation this policy will unleash. And the numbers, they're staggering. A £2.6 billion black hole in lost tax revenue, collapsing businesses and foreign competitors ready to swoop in on what's left of Britain's economy. Stick with us as we reveal how Labour's promises of growth are crumbling under the weight of their own disastrous decisions. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because this scandal is only getting worse. Rachel Reeves, Chancellor of the Exchequer, stood at the dispatch box and unveiled her inheritance tax raid as a cornerstone of Labour's budget. It was marketed as a tough but necessary measure to repair Britain's public finances. The plan slashed critical tax reliefs on business and agricultural property, claiming this would generate £1.38 billion in extra revenue over 5 years. But as the dust settles, the reality of Reeves's policy is hitting like a wrecking ball. Economists, business leaders, and politicians across the spectrum are now sounding the alarm, calling the inheritance tax changes a hammer blow to family businesses and the wider economy. Here's how it works. Under the new rules, a 20% levy will be applied to inherited business assets valued over £1 million. Agricultural Property Relief, APR, which has long protected family farms from massive tax burdens, is also being scaled back. These changes are set to take effect in August 2026, leaving businesses with little time to prepare. At first glance, Labour's plan appears to target only the wealthiest estates, but dig a little deeper, and the true cost of this policy becomes clear. According to an analysis by CBI Economics, the Treasury has grossly underestimated the economic fallout. While the inheritance tax raid might bring in £1.38 billion, the knock-on effects, reduced business investment, lower productivity and job losses, will result in a £2.6 billion loss in other tax revenues, including corporation tax, income tax, and national insurance. The net result? A shocking £1.26 billion deficit for the Treasury, leaving Britain worse off than if Reeves had done nothing at all. But the human cost is even more harrowing. CBI Economics estimates that 125,000 jobs could be lost as businesses are forced to slash investments or sell off assets to cover the tax burden. For many family-run farms and businesses, the numbers simply don't add up. Neil Davey, CEO of Family Business UK, has warned that inheritors will have no choice but to sell up when the owner dies, often to foreign investors who pay little or no tax in Britain. Businesses will be starved of much-needed investment, Davey said in an open letter to Reeves, co-signed by 32 trade associations representing over 160,000 businesses. The letter describes the inheritance tax changes as catastrophic and calls on Labour to run a formal consultation to protect family businesses. If these changes go ahead, the damage will be irreversible, Davey warned, and the backlash doesn't stop there. Across Westminster, politicians are lining up to condemn Labour's policy. Kemi Badenoch, leader of the Conservative Party, delivered a blistering speech at the Business Property Relief Summit, declaring, "This is the worst raid on family businesses in living memory. No one is safe from Labour's tax grab." Nigel Farage, the outspoken leader of Reform UK, didn't hold back either. Labelling Reeves no economist, he accused her of having a total lack of understanding of the private sector. Even Tim Farron, the Liberal Democrat environment spokesman, joined the criticism, warning that the tax hike would lead to the collapse of so many family farms and countless jobs. And while Labour insists that most small businesses won't be affected, the growing evidence suggests otherwise. Businesses are already feeling the pinch. Neil Davey has revealed that some small firms have shelved investment plans and halted recruitment. Staff at family-run companies are terrified of what the future holds, with many bracing for redundancies or forced closures. But it's not just the private sector in turmoil. Labour's controversial tax policies have cast a long shadow over the party's broader economic agenda. Earlier this week, Sir Keir Starmer proudly announced a green partnership with Norway, a major initiative aimed at boosting investment in clean energy and creating thousands of new jobs. The partnership includes ambitious plans for carbon capture technology and promises to power 1 million homes with clean energy by 2028. On the surface, this looks like a win for Labour's net zero ambitions, but critics argue that Reeves's inheritance tax raid threatens to undermine these goals. Family businesses and farms play a crucial role in driving green innovation, and many are now warning that Labour's policies could choke off this vital contribution to the UK's transition to clean energy. Meanwhile, the UK economy is showing troubling signs of strain. GDP contracted by 0.1% in October, marking 2 consecutive months of negative growth. Recruitment giant James Reed has reported a 26% drop in job advertisements compared to last year, a clear indication that businesses are bracing for tough times ahead. The budget has spooked businesses, Reed said, adding that a recession may already be looming. And if that wasn't enough, Labour is now grappling with a growing crisis in Britain's prison system. New data reveals that the Ministry of Justice accidentally released 87 prisoners too early last year, a record high. Among those mistakenly freed were violent offenders, sex criminals, and drug traffickers. Retired Detective Chief Superintendent Kevin Moore has slammed the errors as unacceptable and warned that they are putting the public at unnecessary risk. The Justice Secretary, Shabana Mahmood, is scrambling to address the crisis, but with prisons overcrowded and resources stretched thin, the road ahead looks bleak. Labour's long-term plans to build 14,000 new prison spaces by 2031 are already facing scepticism, with critics questioning whether the government can meet its ambitious targets. For Reeves and Labour, the pressure is mounting. What began as a bold fiscal plan has spiralled into a political disaster, with economists, business leaders, and voters questioning whether the party is fit to govern. And for Britain's family businesses, the lifeblood of the economy, the stakes couldn't be higher. Farms and companies passed down through generations are now facing the unthinkable, being sold off, shuttered, or handed over to foreign owners. The question now is whether Labour can reverse course and salvage the situation, or whether Reeves's inheritance tax raid will be remembered as one of the biggest blunders in British political history. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more political updates.